Good morning, my brothers. It is January 23rd. Where is the month going? And so we turn to the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, for God's daily dose of wisdom. In verses 6 through 8, jumped off the page today, and they read like this. Do not eat the bread of a selfish man, or desire his delicacies, for as he thinks within himself, so he is. He says to you, eat and drink, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the morsel you have eaten and waste your compliments. It's a dire warning, isn't it? So as I dug into this, I asked the Lord, what is it that you're trying to say here? He pointed me to this selfish man. And as I dug into those words, a selfish man, it actually literally is translated a man with an evil eye. Now, we talked about the eye yesterday and how it's the most important organ of the body and how Ezekiel's wheel was full of eyes showing the omnipotence and omnipresence of God. In this context here, the evil eye, talking about a worthless, rotten individual, somebody who's only concerned about themselves, thus the translation into English, a selfish man. Someone who is always concerned for themselves and is not concerned for others. So we can understand then that the rest of the section here talking about as he thinks within himself, so he is, and that's actually as he ruminates within his own thinking, or as he thinks about himself in his twisted state, he really is twisted. And he says, eat and drink, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the morsel you have eaten and waste your compliments. And quite literally, morsel means crumb. So he's so selfish that even when he throws a party and he says, hey, eat, drink, and be merry, he's actually pretty stingy when he comes to giving out his bread. That's the kind of individual that we're talking about here. And in the Jewish tradition, when you ate with someone, when you broke bread with someone, you actually became one with them. You were yoked to them. I think we can understand that whole idea of not being unequally yoked. And this is what this particular proverb, this section in Proverb is talking about, is not being unequally yoked with someone who is evil, someone who is selfish, someone who has an evil eye. That's what he's talking about here. I remember when I first moved to Oregon many years ago, there was a group of people who really needed my expertise. I knew about networking, computer networking, and there was an old networking system called Novell Networks. If you're old, you may remember it. If you're not, it's not important. But they had a system where they put together a telephone technical support business so that they could connect people throughout the country via telephone who were experts in this networking process with other people who were having problems and they needed help. Ingenious system of connecting the people, but they didn't have the technical expertise in order to be able to recruit and retain those experts throughout the United States, and I did. So they offered me a partnership. When my wife met these guys who offered me this partnership, she warned me. She said, no, don't go into business with these guys. These guys are bad news. They're selfish. They're, in this context of Proverbs, they were these people with evil eye. They had evil intent. And in fact, it turned out to be true, because many years later, after we'd put this entire system together and it was working like a machine, they decided they were going to let me go, even though they had offered me a partnership, even though I was a partner within the business. Turned out I had to sue them in order to get what was mine rightfully. And it was a really messy situation. And it just exemplified to a T what this section of Proverbs is all about. Do not eat the bread of selfish men or desire his delicacies. For as he thinks within himself, so he is. He says to you, eat and drink, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the morsel you have eaten and waste your compliments. My brothers, we need to be yoked with like-minded people. We need to be yoked with Jesus himself so that we can fulfill the calling that he has given to us. We need to be yoked with people who are full of grace and mercy, full of excitement for the kingdom. Those are the people that we need to be yoked with. And that's why I'm so grateful for this community, because I found a community of like-minded brothers who will support me when I need it, who will challenge me when I need it, and who are always there. My brothers, I love you, each and every one of you. I hope you go out and you make a difference in someone's life today. God bless you.